units that are surrounded and adjacent to enemy unit surrender. So we got a new game. Yeah, and it's been a few days since I've been able to sit down here and check out the game, as a matter of fact. Let's see if we can get a little look here. It'd be early morning, so we gotta keep it down a little bit, but we've had a chance to study the map. Really studying the grand battery option. Want to make sure we're really have that rule clarified and ready for us. But yeah, I thought that might have been a little bit too easy for those units to have surrendered without a fight. So I went over this, and it's been a while, and I've just been sitting here just looking at the map and going through the rules. So I'm glad we caught that mistake before we got too far advanced. We're now here getting ready for the July 3rd first chit draw. We got to decide, since we still have this victory point hex, which one of these artillery batteries we want to withhold. Our main candidate seems to be up here with the 3rd Corps, because they look like they might be coming on with assault, but it's a whole new game now. So yeah, with the get a new perspective at the game and looking at the grand battery rule and see if we want to employ that yet. Right now the updated score is this, and that +4 is the Confederate delay victory points. So 31-20. They have not surrendered because you have to be adjacent to a unit. And I was looking at the examples of play and stuff, and I'm glad I caught that. So, new game. Can't wait to get started. Might have to wait till daylight. And yeah, we'll be back. More Clash of Giants, Civil War. Great game of Gettysburg. We'll be back. Alright, then with the assignment of the artillery, you gotta look at the board, look at the game. You only get one combat with all these command shit draws. Thinking about, 5th Corps, giving them the artillery for an assault on Culp's Hill, but other options coming up here. I don't know if we're gonna close in for an attack or let them attack us. You know, that all comes in mind into play too. Ooh, but Culp's Hill is looking really good, and we're leaning towards 5th Corps. Artillery is an automatic, so we gotta wait for the chit draw. Like you said, you only get one combat with all the chits, so there's already one combat gonna be here, here, here. You know, those are the only attack points that I see. Ooh. Or do we give it to our boys here? That would be 12th Corps. We gave that to them. We've been giving that to them each turn in defense, but I think they got a nice buffer. I don't want to waste the artillery. As a matter of fact, I was going to say 12th Corps has been pretty well reduced. Here you go over here and see that this is a casualty list. And you get 1 point per step loss. So that's basically how we get that score, besides those 4 points for delayed entry. So you can see the rebels inflicting a lot more casualties onto the Union in this game. Oop, we've had a little sleeve injunction. We'll be right back. Alright, now this grand battery rule, we're interpreting that to be if we pick one of these 3 markers, they are removed from the game after you use them. But it says it removes the restriction that you don't have to go with the formation. Okay, well again, you only get one attack, so you got to figure out how to use it. I'm thinking that there's a rule you can only use 1 artillery per attack, and that's right. We're not going to be getting a 3 bonus, a 3 die roll modifier bonus. You only get 1, but it does say they don't have to be used with their formation, which okay, that don't really help us a lot. And if they're not used, they're still taken away. So we're trying to figure out that grand battery rule. Like I said, we might have to start this in the morning, or we can turn up the volume. But it's just our thoughts here as we're trying to conclude this game. We'll try to get this done with over the weekend. Well, again, Jackson Special Command chip marker does not come into effect until early afternoon. So all kinds to think about. Might be a good idea to coordinate the grand battery with our second incarnation of the Longstreet Special Command marker. I think that's the way we're going to do it, and that's the way I think it should be done in a game. I think that's a mechanic that Mr. Reese here has been looking for. As a matter of fact, he has a nice interview, I think, on GNP. Something I have to watch. I haven't had a chance to do nothing. My busy time of year. I had some downtime because of injury, but we're back at it, and it's all balls to the walls, as I say. We'll be back. All right. Well, sorry about the late night, or rather early morning map commentaries, but I'm glad we got that rule straightened out. And instead of a really goofy game, like I said, I didn't know if that was it didn't feel right when you play these war games. You know, you can get a feel for something. But another thing I wanted to discuss was the option of how you would have been able to get units adjacent with the mandatory combats. So we would have had to get adjacent. Somebody would have had a mandatory combat, stuff like that. And you can't really have combat voluntarily because we've already used our combat shit in that turn. So how that would have worked out, how you would have been able to get adjacent to units before that nighttime surrender, maybe could have been done. We would have to, I'd have to do it over and see what the movements were, but we thought we had them all taken care of, and we would have had to move adjacent. You can't move adjacent though and have combats when you've already had your combat shit moved over here. So I don't know how that would work. One thing about I want to make a note on this game is probably a lot more in depth than I'm getting into here. I mean, you know, you can see I'm making mistakes, but so far I think we've corrected them all, and they haven't had a effect on what I always like to say, game integrity. I always like to have these games by the rules and see how they turn out. I always think about it as kind of like a puzzle. See which team or which side can win when I do my solo playthroughs. All right. So anyway, let's get on with some actual play here. We got to figure out which unit needs the artillery without being drawn first. Oh, and that's another thing is because the really I don't want to say goofy, but unique mechanic of only having one combat. It's really throws everything for a loop because you don't know where you want to have your combat at. So we're thinking here we could throw it in with one of these units here that are making the move on their units that are surrounded, or good defensive move would be to put it here for any attack. So let me check this out real quick and I'll make a final decision on the unit artillery, which I get one pulled from the cup for free because of this victory point hex right here. That whoever owns this gets this option. So we'll be right back. All right, well, it's a new game in the early morning turn of the third day, last turn, and we got a couple of key battles gonna happen here this morning. Everyone's kind of prepping for, and we will put the Union Free Artillery with Second Corps and their surrounding of Hood. So there's going to be some good battles coming on up this turn. Now we got to make a decision on Grand Battery and how we figure that on out. You'll figure out who wants to get the Grand Battery. I'm thinking this is by divisions. Let me see if I can get that. There you go. First division. Oh, I have these wrong. Oh, I have them wrong. First division, second division, third. Second division should have been up here. But when you pull the three chits, and they don't have to go what they're assigned, so John can go with. I mean, I don't know what the difference it makes. It says I'll find a rule quick. All right, this allows these three markers to ignore the requirement that a marker only be used with its formation provided, blah, 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 if it's all within 5 hexes. Well, I'm not understanding because who cares which one it goes to? You can only use them in one attack. It ain't like you're getting all three. And the rules aren't clear on that. I mean, does a grand battery mean you could use all three? You know, it doesn't say you can ignore the rule that only one artillery per battle. It doesn't say that. It says all three of these are available. Wow. I guess it's just like this pull here is what they're doing. They're just giving you the option to pull the artillery and then don't be pulled for the cup. And like I said, I think we're going to use it in conjunction with, if it could last that long, the Longstreet Special Command Marker, which allows the rebels to activate first without a command chip pull, and all three of them can move and have combat. It's the kind of combat that is normal in any war game, except this one with its special only one attack. So I don't know if that's logistical. He's trying to do something logistic-wise with that rule, but there you go. Do we hold off on 3 artillery markers, or do we pull them now and give one? That's what you could do, is give one here, and one here. It does say, though, provided that, where are we at here? Provided that the attacks hexes are all within 5 hexes of one another. Well, that ain't going to happen here. So you know what I mean? So I think it's something like this. We want to give it maybe to Second Corps. Yeah. Second Corps is missing well, maybe not. Second Corps only got 2 formations. Oh, no. Second Corps got 3. Early, Johnson, and Rhodes. Let me see here. Early, Johnson, and Rhodes. Oh, they're all here. All 3 of them. So that's what you might want to, what you had in mind in that grand battery, is you put, one on each one. And like he says, I guess they don't have to go on their own, which if you're going to use it, they're going to be with their own anyway. It's just, you're hiding the name is all you're doing. Whatever. All right, hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. We will be back with the grand battery decision. I don't know if I want to use it now. Oh, now would be a good time. We will make the decision. We'll be off camera with our deep thinking. All right, we're going to go ahead and use our grand battery in conjunction. We're going to wait until turn 14. Let's go over here and check that out. This is the second Longstreet. The chip can be used on 2 different turns. We already used it on turn 9 or 10. Now it can be used on any one turn starting on turn 14. The Confederate player may automatically draw Longstreet as a first activation. That's what happened with the first one. May activate any 3 formations, regardless of corps, provided the furthest of all formations no more than 12 hexes. Okay, that's good. Add 1 die roll to a command roll. Activated units must roll first, and then all attack. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So if we can hold off on that grand battery and maneuver, that's all about what this game's about, is get maneuvering in time and get our units ready for the early afternoon of today. So that's what we're doing. It's in the morning. Longstreet, we're going to try to use his masterful tactical mind, and he gives us a bunch of plus modifiers. So we will hold off on that one. Ooh, so that means we'll put all these in the cup. Let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we'll draw 9 of them. And that will be the assigned artillery. Although we already gave 1 with our special allowance with having this hex. And this hex here is Cemetery Hill. Whoever has that gets some kind of special artillery. We pulled 1. We're going to assign it there. All right, we put these in a cup. We'll be right back. We got to draw artillery. All right, for the last day of the battle. And to be honest with you, artillery is, I think Mr. Racer said he wanted to 10 in this game. Doesn't have that big of a factor. It adds maybe a 1 factor, so not that big. If you're big into artillery and blowing stuff up, this game ain't for you, but it does have a place in the game, just not a major place. So we're picking up 9 of these, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, they made a comeback, but not quite. Confederates 1 more. Who gets the artillery? It is 9th Corps for the Union. It is 3rd Corps for the Union. It is 12th Corps for the Union. And last but not least, 5th Corps. So there you go. Them are the units that will have artillery logistics available to them this turn. On the Confederate side, Hood. Oh, that worked out good. That'll have artillery for his little breakout. Rhodes down here, he needed it. Well, they all need it, but let's see here. McLaw. Ooh, McLaw. Okay. And this also helps with what you want to try to plan on doing. You don't ever in this game. You don't know what you want to do. You have to. It's what do you call it? Fighting on your feet. Let me see here. Pender. He has it here, and we have Heath. So there you go. A lot of. Ooh, we got there. Is that 2nd Corps, 3rd Division? These are divisions, and these are corps. So I don't know if this is 1st, 2nd, 3rd Division. They got it marked on here. 3rd Division, 2nd Division. And we're learning this game as we go along. You know, like we said, we're not military type people, and we're not really sure how they organize. And I'm sure most of you out there know how it's organized, but we're learning it as we go. So there you go. We got the artillery assigned. It is now operational phase. I think we're ready. Let me check everything out. Oop, one more roll to see for Robert E. Lee. So let's make our Robert E. Lee roll. He's yet to make his presence felt because we'll take the chit off after he's been used. But if he succeeds in his presence, and that means he's on the battlefield, he's going to have an immediate presence. He's going actually onto the field directing things. It just gives one of these units a +1 die roll modifier, but we need a 1 for his activation. 6. He has nothing to do with this battle. He has rolled a 6 every time, so his next chance will be late afternoon. It would be nice if he kind of coordinated it with Longstreet. Ooh, can't make that stuff up. All right, it is dog walking time. We've had a great time. We're going to have a nice, great weekend. Great weekend. Feel good. Whew. Nice to feel good again. It's all about health, people. Make sure you feel good, and we'll be back. We got to walk a dog, and we get some more free time. We're excited to get back down there and continue with some command chit draws. All right, we're going to try to have us a take 2 here. I don't know about editing software, but bad morning with the stomach growls going on there, and kind of killed the last video. So we will spare you the stomach sounds, and we had it already rolled. It is our first chit draw, and the first roll was for 9th Corps, do we call them, or 11th Corps, and they rolled a 4, which translates into 6 movement points, and there you go for the first movements of the morning. Like I said earlier, the rumors of the rebels' demise were greatly exaggerated. They're not eliminated yet, but the noose is tightening, and it will be we'll call them, I think it's the 9th Corps from my game of making on the retreat from Gettysburg, but it could be the 11th. It's like, what do I know? Watch this channel. Whatever I say, it's usually the opposite. All right, so let me find out what we want to do. We have got Pickett surrounded, and he is not eliminated because there were no units adjacent to him. I guess that makes sense if you're surrounded. But anyway, let me check this out, and we'll be right back. All right, well, this is the aspects of the game I was talking about when they were wanting me to get, when you're required to get next to a unit adjacent to them during the night turn. If I get adjacent, if I call in an attack for Pickett and try to eliminate Pickett's men, that'll take care of my 1 unit in combat, and I have all these chits to draw. So how do you incorporate the mechanics of the game with a strategy? I think my 1 combat, if I really had to concentrate, would be to take out all these units here. So we'll hold off. I think we want, when we draw McLaw's chit, or not McLaw's chit, what is that? That is the 2nd Corps is the key. And I said 2nd Corps was the key when I first came on in, but and they do have the artillery marker with them. So we're going to concentrate and just wait on our attacks for 2nd Corps. Now, do we just dig in with these units here? I mean, it'd be the thing to do. You can't move adjacent. There are no more night turns. So this is kind of the combat of the early morning. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more combat battles that we can pick before the game's over, and that's it. All right, we might just sit tight with Ninth Corps. We'll have to see what's going on here. If there's any advantageous moves we can make, because I could use them to come on down here and get some flank attacks going on. You know, key thing in the game, when do you have your battles? We'll be right back. All right, then, for Ninth Corps' move, we're going to do the following. Take advantage of the mandatory attack rule, and we will move, we want to keep them trapped in here. So if we move this unit here, and I believe this unit with them, no, let's keep this unit on top. Now let's move this unit with him. He has to stop when he enters the zone of control. But with me being in the woods, or with the Union being in the woods, that does not constitute a mandatory attack for me, because I'm in the woods. On the other hand, now coming up with the next turn, unless the Confederate can get away from the adjacent, and he has to draw this chit, he'll have to have a mandatory attack, and his combat will be used. That's the way this game works. We're going to the mandatory attack rule. Adjacent units, unless you're in the woods, that negates my obligation. I don't think it negates his obligation, because he's in the clear. We'll go check that out. We'll be right back. All right, the key caveat we're looking for here is adjacent enemy units must attack these units if they themselves are infantry only in clear hexes. Negates the Union, qualifies for the Confederates when they come up. That'll take care of that chit draw. We come back, or we'll do it just right now, I guess. We're ready to go. We'll have a chit draw for the next chit draw. Yeah, there you go. Make sure we got everything ready to go. We're set. That was it. We'll just make one move. Let me make sure we just want to make one move next to them. If we get adjacent and we're in clear terrain, you see what I'm talking about? So I think we'll just hold off on everybody there. We'll be right back. All right, second thought, we're going to move them like this. 6 movement points are allowed. 1, 2 brings him in here. This unit here, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 movement points allowed. All right, yeah, we beefed up our position. I like that a lot better. So this mandatory attack is on. The burden is on the Confederates. If there is a guide for the Confederates, pick it. It'll be the next chit drawn. We will see. And that don't matter. If it's a Union chit, it don't matter. So we'll see what's up. Real quick here. Right, we got our chit. Which one is this? This is a real important chit draw here. It's a Confederate, and it's not Pickett. It is Anderson. He is right here. His mission? To rescue Pickett. There's going to have to be a combat. So we'll have to move his units and get ready for the combat. Anderson does not have artillery. So there you go. We'll see. He's got to rescue Pickett. Or Pickett's going to have a mandatory attack. Not that Pickett can be eliminated this turn. That is going to be Anderson's orders. We'll see what we can do with it. 5. So Anderson comes through. And a 5 comes up to 8 movement points. So he'll max out. Be back with Anderson's move. All right, then with 8 movement points, Anderson's men can maybe do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to do this as a preliminary. This isn't set in stone. But then he's got 8 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4. That negates the presence of his zone of control for movement. He can move in here in 5, and that rescues him. So we'll try it like that. We'll see what happens. We still have some more movements to do, but yeah, that is the preliminary plan. And then when we're all next to everybody, we'll move Anderson's men in those positions, and the attack will be here and here. They'll have to have a mandatory attack. These boys can't move, then they get drawn. But Anderson can. He will try to save the day with Pickett. And I guess, like I said, the burning's got to be on us. Now, no more attacks, no more combats now for the Confederates, because that'll be their mandatory. So that's how this game goes. You can screw your buddy by giving him a mandatory attack. There you go, unless there's some other way we can nullify this spot here. With 8 hexes, though, we might be able to get around there. Well, I'll look and see. That's just the plan. We'll be back and find out what the finalized Anderson move is with 8 hexes. All right, to negate the mandatory, he would have to get a unit here or here. I'm pretty sure this is the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't do it. We need a 9, 10, 11 movement points. I don't think we can get in there that way. So I'm pretty sure that mandatory attack is going to be enforced, and we will have to position Anderson's men for a nice little combat. We'll rescue Pickett. But and I guess that's enough for this turn. We just ain't going to have no illusions of grandeur to big attack until next turn. So we'll just have to hold off, rescue Pickett, and that'll take care of our early morning turn. And all the chit draws will be for maneuver, unless we get, and we can find some place to mandatory the Union. We'll be back. Right, there'll be a 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 8, but no blank attack. That'll be there. And lastly, to close the trap. And I think that'll take care of Anderson. The Confederates making the most of their mandatory attack. They have activated Anderson, who had a good tactical rating and was able to move his men 8 movement points. And there we are. We have 3 battles going on. Unfortunately for the rebels, the Union has I forgot whose guns they were. Hold on a second. All right, the old Hunt's gun advantage. So there you go. We had 2 of these divisional, I guess, guns, and 1 gun for the formation. So it'll give them maybe a little tip and a balance in their favor, or something will make them a little bit more difficult to defeat. Now, if we can get some retreat results from any of these, it'll free up some supply routes and maybe rescue Pickett. We'll get on with the first attack. Oh, let me see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 factors going against 3. So there you go. That would have been a 2-to-1 attack, and now it's only a 1-to-1 thanks to the artillery. And that will help the Union cause big time, because if it was a 2-to-1 attack, they'd get a +1. As it is now, they don't get no modifiers, and all the rebels must roll. So we'll go ahead and roll for the tactical effectiveness, and it's a 3 rating. So we need a 3 or less to keep him from retreating or taking a step loss, and anything over a 3, he'll retreat the difference in hexes. 3 or less. 4. So that gives him a step loss, and he might be eliminated if he can't retreat 1 hex. And I don't see where he can, because he'll be in zones of control. So that will eliminate him. Wow. Anderson comes through. Pickett has been relieved or rescued in the Dawn's battle, even with artillery. All right, so it's 2 more points for the Confederates. So they'll have 31. 2 more points. Put that on a 9 spot. There you go. We'll update the other one here in a second. So there you go. Now we can advance 1 unit. We'll find out if we want to advance. Yeah, we most definitely will. I don't think it matters which one. We will advance this one up here. Anderson's from this hex. All right. Wow. All right. We'll put this upside down, signifying it's already been used. And we'll go ahead and put him in the casualty pile, the first casualty from that corps. Next fight. And this one here will involve 1, 2, 3 attack factors, only going against a 1. So I was hoping that'd be a 3-to-1, but they got another one there, so it's another 1-to-1 attack. But even worse for the Confederates is they'll have a +1 on their die roll modifier because they're going uphill. So there you go, another 1-to-1 attack. All because of the artillery. The artillery is a big difference here. It's helping out the Union, making a big difference in these 3 little battles. All right, so we got, 3-2 instead of a 3-to-1. So that's a 1-to-1 attack. And we'll be rolling for the Union. Now, here again, 2 or less with no die roll modifiers. 2 or less with no die roll modifiers. And there you go, 1-to-1, no die roll modifiers. 2 or less. Maybe tough to do. So it could be a good unit attack. 6. So yeah, he's only 1-step unit. He will be eliminated. This point here will change hands to the rebels. There you go. And who will we move up there? We will move. Well, we got to roll for these boys first. All right. So rebels need a 3 or less with a +1. 3 or less, +1 because they're going up the hill. So they get a 4. So that's a step loss for them. Oh, he is eliminated. Wow. Okay, so it's a costly game here now. 1 point for the Confederacy. They are at 29, so we'll give them 30. And then the Union just got another one, so he'll get 21. All right, that's there. All right, there you go. Now we have to roll for this last unit. Can everybody be eliminated? 3 or less, +1. 3 or less, +1. He's a 2-step unit, so he could take a step loss. 3 or less, +1 going up the hill. Oh, takes a step loss and has to retreat. So we're going to flip this marker back. The last person on there was the Confederates, so they have to take a step loss and our 1 retreat, because it's a 4. The difference between 4 and 3 is 1. So let's move him back this way, and that'll be the result of the battle. Wow. We have a change of score there. The result of this battle right here, opening up the area. A lot of casualties. We'll be right back. We'll put this artillery upside down, signifying that it has been used also. And we got the score updated. We'll be right back. All right, that updated score. We get the zoom feature to work. There you go. Rebels have 30 points in step losses and 4 points in delayed entry points. 34 to 22. And a big hammer on points. They have Union suffered 1, 2, 3 victory points and casualties in that little battle. Wow. All right, well, that is it. We're going to another battle here. The last one. We're not done yet. This is the one we pretty well stacked for, but we didn't count on some more artillery. So that's 5. Well, this was going to be a low odds attack anyway. So we thought it'd be a 1 to 2, but with a 5, it's still a 1 to 2 attack. So I guess the artillery probably wasn't needed, but there you go. 2 versus a 5. 1 to 2. And here you go. The attacker will get a -1 on his. We'll get a +1. So the first unit for the attackers, or for the defenders, is a 3. They'll get a -1 on their die roll to meet that number. -1, 5. Ooh, 4. Which means they will take a step loss and have to retreat 1. They can't retreat any of their hexes this way, so they'll have to go this way. And then, well, yeah, we'll have to go this way and then this way. There you go. Another point for the rebels. So they'll have 35 points now. All right, now we roll for this old boy here. He needs a 2 or less, -1. Oh, tough fight. All right, well, that reduces him 1. So the difference between 2 and 6 is 4. 1, 2, 3. We'll go down this way, 4. So that's how we were treated. Now, 4 or less with a +1. 4 or less with a +1. 3, 4. He meets it. There you go. Our defender never. Oh, I guess he was the attacker. Yeah, the attacker can advance if he wants. Oh, do we want to go into brush? Yes, we do. We'll take a nice little brushy spot there. And then this, as a result, after the battle, Rebels coming back with all fury. 2 more points. So we'll give them another, 2 more points up here. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, the 22. Wow, that's a big difference in victory points. But nobody's got over this ridge yet, so it's still the Unions. But yeah, they cleared out the area. More importantly, picket. They pretty well established the front here now, so they broke out. The breakout was completed for this combat. Definitely a successful combat for the Confederates who had to take their combat phase. I don't see any other mandatory attacks going on yet. When we come back, it'll be a chit draw, but I think the hero of the day here, and could he be of the game? Anderson coming through. Be back. Right then, 36-22 Rebel rout, and coming through with some good maneuverability on their command marker draw. We're ready for the next one, and it will be. This is a great game. I want to play this one again and again and again, so we'll see what's up. Ooh, hold on a second. We got a reserve marker over here. It has to be turned upside down. Reserve marker A. And here you go. With the next chit draw. Who will get the initiative on this game? It will be the Rebels. So the marker stays as a Rebel turn. Turn 1. Who is it? Johnson. Johnson's men are right on up here in the thick of it. And Johnson will roll with no die roll modifier for his men, looking for a high roll. Oh, there's a nice little bing, and a 5 for Johnson. Translates into 10 movement points. Wow, Rebels taking the bull by the horns. After the men have been surrounded, one has successfully broke out. We'll see what we can do with Johnson. And 10 movement points. And his men are right here. There are only 2. It looks like there's only 2 brigades left. We go with Johnson. Now, they've taken up their combat, so we can't move anybody adjacent. We'll have to see what we want to do with Johnson. All these chit draws now might be a little bit on the moot side, unless you can get some elevation on a Union unit that's lower in elevation, or if you can get a spot in the woods. We'll be right back with Johnson's 2 brigade moves. He can move 10 movement points. All right, with Johnson's 2 brigades, we're looking at something like this. 1 movement point, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the slope, 9, 10 for the woods. No mandatory attack because the woods are covering our ass and we're adjacent. I think I like that move. We'll take both of Johnson's brigades and move them right here. That'll be it for John. Oh, Johnson's got more men? Oh, okay. I didn't see that. These boys will move next, and they get 10 movement points. All right, we'll be back, but they're reduced. We'll be right back. All right. The most, or the furthest that these 2 brigades can get would be right here. They can't get up on the hill. But we can take advantage of the rule that says if you move adjacent, you can be in clear terrain as long as somebody is on. This is not a mandatory attack. It usually would be, but the reason it's negated is because these boys here are on the same elevation. So I think we'll do this. And there you go. We'll put him up there next to him. Not a mandatory attack anywhere yet. But just because he's on the same elevation. There you go. That'll be it for Johnson's move, although he had 10 movement points. I think they maneuvered in a very good spot up here with the rules. There you go. We're taking advantage. Not really surrounded yet. Thanks to these boys here, but yeah, we got ourselves a little spot. I want to hold on to that for sure. All right, that'll take care of that chit draw for Johnson. Let's go for another one while we can. Still got some time. We got to move this party outside. We got steps to stain, barbecuing and doing everything else, but for a few minutes, we got time in chit draw, and we got some time tonight. Well, some gaming time tonight, so hoping to get this game going. Having a great time. We'll call this a video maybe after this next chit draw. Ooh, stays with the Rebels, so Rebels making it known that they mean business. Pender. Rolling for Pender. The 2. Oh, Pender doesn't do like his Patriots. Comes up short with only 4 movement points. But that might be all Pender needs, because he is right here. Oh, he was looking for that. His men were looking for that big die roll. Ouch. Pender, you are going to be docked some pay for that one. All right, we'll be right back with only 4 movement points. Pender's 3 brigades. All right, well, with the combat marker already taken effect, he couldn't move adjacent. Although he could have moved adjacent in the woods. There's no mandatory combat there. Pender could have did a lot more than he did. It was a big disappointment on his part. We're going to call this a video. We don't want to get too long. I want to get this one out because I want everybody to see that they did not have to surrender. When we come back, we'll return with some more command chit draws. Great game. Continuation of early morning chit draws when we come back.